There's a thing to always keep in mind. I definitely see this as very real, this little hype cycle. AI is doing this right now, where now you're starting to see more videos coming out of like, it's not as good as we thought. They actually have like 1,000 Indians working behind this. Did you see that one? Or it's like Amazon, I think Apple as well. They're like, our product is serviced by AI. You can just grab the item and walk out. And then the camera, the AI, it turns out they hired like 1,000 people in India to like monitor all this. So it really wasn't the AI that much. It was just 1,000 people doing all the work. Just like, okay. So you're getting a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying? Now, we do know 15 years later that or less, once it becomes societally acceptable, once the SF catches up with the NT. That's all this is. The NT is like, this is amazing, and the SF is like, screw you, we hate you, and then it does come back.
For me, this thing fits in this weird space of both being kind of dystopian, but also kind of like ridiculous and lame, but you can try to change my mind. Let's go on. Soccer did record a video, but first I want to show you some of the videos that have been circulating of other people out in the world using this monstrosity. So here we have the dude who got the first one.
Yes.
Being cheered
as a hero, which he is. He is a hero.
I wonder if he really used that or if he's going to resell it. Because the resale's got to be a lot. Here's someone who is skateboarding down the streets of what appears to be New York City.
That's Casey Neistat. He's a YouTuber.
Oh, for real? He's reviewing it?
He's very popular.
That looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Here's a guy, this is even more terrifying.
This is a true hero.
Who's doing, he's in a Tesla, self-driving.
Yes.
So his hands are not on the wheel. And he was like, I don't know, clicking.
He's
a guy on the subway who's clicking and people, doing their thing. And he just looks kind of like a goober because that's what you look like when you have this thing on, as we can tell from Sorry Others.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, look at me over here. I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah, you look really cool there.
I'm looking here.
Crystal has the SI-FI functions, so she doesn't have the authority to punch on the feeling. She's a demon feeler, and it's not FE. So she just can leak out, I don't like this, you look like a goober, and that's where the feeling functions are. So if Crystal was SI-FE, she'd be able to kick this guy's ass.
We're already in a world of tech. We're already addicted to our phones and all that. This is just what the next jump could look like. I would be much more in favor of the augmented reality, the spatial computing that Apple is doing, which is an extension of your already existing ecosystem and or work, as opposed to fully going Ready Player One, like living in a different world. So for that, I think that this accomplishes that quite well. And I mean, if you're a video editor or if you have something that you want to get really up close with, it's really useful. I mean, I'm telling you, for something like this. But overall, I mean, listen, for a first try, it's a risky device, and I like that. I think it's cool.
The FIs are still communicating with emotions. You just have to read between the lines. Now, they're having two different arguments, and they're doing really well because they're friends and they're double deciders and all that kind of stuff. But everything he's saying is true. It is very useful, logical, thinker. It works. It really does. It really does. You just look like a goober, and you're gonna get run over by a taxi cab.
What do you think? You're not a little bit entranced by it?
No.
I mean, just sitting here.
Okay.
You have the biggest desktop in the world. You can do anything. You got this.
But
you got
here's
this.
the thing. I don't need more things to disconnect me or my children, by the way, especially my son.
I would not like kids anywhere near this, I will tell you.
From reality. Like, I already have enough ways to disconnect myself from reality and be constantly distracted by work and Twitter and YouTube and whatever. So, and then also, some of the videos I saw one of this dude who was, he's like, oh my God, I'm using the maps in Apple Vision Pro and it's actually amazing. And you see the vision, what is it? He's just like walking down the street and the map, instead of being here on his phone, it's just like, oh, it's right there. It's like, that's not revolutionary. It just makes you are even more disconnected from your surroundings and even more in your own bubble and have exactly the same access to tech that you already had on your phone. So no, I'm not excited. I'm the opposite of excited. I'm anti-excited about it. I'm sort of like dreading the possibility that this thing could take off and we all be even more sort of like remote and distant from each other.
I'm opposite. I'm excited. Her masculine FINE is like, I fucking hate this thing. And all the negative possibilities. The masculine NE demon, it really does zone in on the negative possibilities, right? Because the other guy's got savior NE. So he's like, yeah, there's negative possibilities. Anyways, he gets the dopamine spike, positive this, right? You're just watching two robots play out, talking about robots. What I love about the IJ is she hasn't even tried the damn thing on.
Mark me down as a hater,
all right.
a skeptic.
Well, you haven't even tried it on yet.
I'm already a hater and a skeptic. I'm going full, like, get off my lawn on this one.
That's good.
Listen, just my view. Every technology comes with pluses and minuses, right? This is so much of an advance, so much, there's so much benefit to this. And even it has massive drawbacks, some of which you're talking about in your monologue today, as a matter of fact. Right. So you always have to weigh, like, do the pluses outweigh the minuses? And who knows? Maybe I'm just not creative enough to imagine the possibilities of it. Whoa. But the idea of like, I can multitask better, or I can be more consumed in my work, or I can be more distracted while I'm having a conversation with people right in front of me, that benefit does not outweigh the cons of increasing disconnection, increasing like insularity, increasing, remoteness from the actual real world.
Crystal's getting pushed inner demons. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an ISTJ, you have masculine NE-FI at the bottom, both demons. Like, you don't want to be put on the spot to talk about this. I think she might be a number one. She's very much a professional. She pushes herself through a lot of shit. You know, so she's like, maybe I'm not creative enough. Like she's getting down into her demon NE, which she's not getting. It's not that she's not creative enough. Is that when she's thrown on this crazy possibility, her body is hitting her with cortisol. Her body is hitting her with stress. So a couple of fake lessons that I've taken from it is the good example of double siding. We have these two feminine DE double siders that are very passionate. One very much loves it, one very much hates it. And they're spending a lot of work as they're talking. They have their feeling down here, or their point of view. But they're doing all these backflips to make sure that I give you some positivity, some negativity. They're doing a lot of double siding up here, so they're not hurting the other person's point of view, so they keep the friendship. That's the second lesson I really constantly see, is how much it's not about the thing. It's not about the Apple Pro, or do you like it or not like it or whatever. It's like, where is your body tied to dopamine or stress chemicals?
Are you tired of getting out of bed, turning on the TV, and sitting down? Well, not anymore, with the Apple Vision Pro. Finally, there's never been a better reason to never leave your bedroom ever again. Apple's hardworking and severely underpaid staff in China has built us one of the most advanced VR headsets in the world, with over a dozen cameras and sensors specifically designed to make the product more expensive. With our futuristic and totally discreet design, we're sure that no one will even notice you have it on in public. Best of all, it's 100% wireless, so you can take the headset on the go without a single cord in sight. Except for the cord hanging directly behind it that's attached to the battery. Yeah, we didn't really know what to do with that. But because there's nothing we can't get away with, we decided to give you guys a whopping 2 whole hours of battery life, which should be just enough to not take this anywhere. But don't worry, we'll be selling a much larger battery for a much larger price early next year. Once fully immersed, you'll enter an augmented reality unlike any other. Watch carefully as all the poor people magically disappear from your field of vision. There's actually a knob you can adjust if you want to let more poor people in, less poor people. I prefer none. You know, that's just me. Now, one of my favorite features is how the Apple Vision can take 3D videos and be replayed as if you were actually in that moment. So instead of enjoying the event, you can put on the goggles and record the event, so that afterwards you can virtually relive that event because you missed it because you were recording the event. This is so stupid.